Some games are not just underrated, they are dead. One of the more obscure genres in gaming is all about pirates. For some reason, manning a ship with a team of pirates just does not appeal to most people. There's so much strategy involved and complexity is present too. One guy mans the ship, the other runs maintenance, and a third goes on the offense. This seems to be a good formula for a ship crew in any team-based pirate game. Sadly, there are only a handful of games I can come up with that do present this kind of gameplay, and worse yet, 2 of those games aren't even pirate games. If there is a thing that is even rarer than a pirate game, it gotta be an airship game. The premise is pretty much the same. A team of players mans an airship. One is the captain and others man the weaponry or repair the ship. Depending on what the game tries to achieve, its gameplay can look radically different. There are 2 games I know. One is Guns of Icarus. That game has gigantic maps, and teams of players man different ships. The game pretty much is a gigantic aerial team deathmatch, and the gameplay boils down to a big war of attrition. You destroy the enemy by destroying them faster than they can destroy you. That is pretty much it. So, what about that other title? Alright, AirBuccaneers. Now, this game is a bit different. It harbors smaller maps and throws 32 people into a map at once. Respawn times are very quick, and airships are more abundant. The gameplay is faster paced, yet also harbors some more simplified mechanics when compared to Guns of Icarus. Repairing the ship is simpler. There aren't different components to repair scattered throughout the ship, and the ships aren't as big as in Guns of Icarus, further cutting down on the complexity of the game. Less complex. Does this mean less fun? AirBuccaneers would be an incredible airship combat experience. Positioning in combat is much more precise and yet comes with its own quirks. Like using different boosters, for instance, when flying around, and crew members of any airship can deploy air mines. If someone falls off a ship or dies in another way, they respawn back at the headquarters and can launch themselves back to an airship with a hang glider. Controlling the airship feels adequately tricky. Letting go of the wheel results in the airship slowly drifting away, spinning and slowly descending. Projectiles shot from the cannons are slow, and aiming ahead is very much needed to ensure victory. They also recoil drastically, potentially throwing off other crew members' aim. What is also interesting is that AirBuccaneers offers character progression, allowing the player to specialize in different tasks with a perks and flaws system. Individuals can be really dangerous in this game. Boarding enemy ships and taking them over, for instance, is very much possible. I haven't talked much about the graphics and sound design of the game. Well, let me put it like this. This game is not eye candy. To be honest, it is a bit ugly. The game does have an interesting visual style though. The airships, weaponry and character designs always intrigued me back in the day, and they still do. Sound design wise, the game isn't too bad. The highlights are the sounds of the airship and the crew members. The voice acting is terrible, but in a good way. I like the voice performances of AirBuccaneers. They are legitimately funny, and I would love to hear more voices screaming at each other in the game. Okay, I cannot hide it any further. AirBuccaneers is an online-only game. Yeah, I said it. Online only. This was a pay-to-play experience back in the day, but it turned free-to-play once the developers Ludocraft understood that this game will not gain an active player base anytime soon. Content is spread thin, with only a handful of maps and the basic gameplay supporting the game. I have not found a way to play this game by myself, and multiplayer bots are rather uninteresting. The bots are not comprised of Vikings and Buccaneers running around manning parts of a ship while screaming at each other. The ships just float around by themselves. Playing this game alone, which sadly is true 99% of the time nowadays, is an incredibly humbling experience. All you hear are the ambient sounds of a ship. You man a ship that is too big to control for yourself, and all you can do is fight an onslaught of ghost ships flying in your general direction and shooting cannonballs at you. Currently there's only one server with a cap of 32 players online, which screams to be filled by human players. The game runs on the Unity engine, which means that modding could be possible. How about new maps, new game modes, new airships and weapons? Why not open the game up for other people to make it truly great? Well, that's another problem. Since the game is not paid to play anymore and no one even considers downloading the game for free, there barely is any community for this game. Why even open up the game completely if there is no one to support it? This is the fate many online-only games face, especially games that aren't in the mainstream. If the last server goes offline, this game is dead for good. But to heck with that, I thought. I decided to drum up some people and we managed to play this dead game anyways. We had about 8 to 12 people playing in a server at once, and the experience was way more positive than I would have thought at first. The server quickly descends into chaos, with people ramming kamikaze ships into the side of ally ships, daredevils jumping onto your ship to try and take it over, and barrages of cannonballs, missiles and flames coming from all sides and axes. Playing the game with other people showed me how much fun it actually is. On my Discord server we all started becoming delirious, screaming at each other, having fun with the game. Noticing yet again that the magic Jesus is coming to slaughter us all, we also managed to revive the game for a day. More and more randoms joined in, and the fight just became bigger and more exciting. Playing the game with more experienced people also taught me more about the game, which I did not realize when playing alone. There are multiple fire modes for any airship, for instance, which you can activate by right-clicking your mouse. The small unarmed ships are kamikaze ships, which explode on impact, and boarding other players' ships is achieved by jumping towards it and pressing space. The various different maps that are available for AirBuccaneers might not be many, but they are high in quality. One map even features a vortex right in the middle, which can be used to launch your ship towards an enemy ship, or it could suck you up at an unopportunistic time and launch you away from action or right into a cheeky kamikaze ship. With that being said, make sure to give AirBuccaneers a try. The game is not only completely free to play, there still is a server up and running which could handle up to 32 players at once.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Guys on blue team, to your right. Oh, never mind, he killed himself. Yeah, that's the kamikaze ship.
That's why you gotta be careful, man.
Got any LAN parties or online video game events planned for the near future? Then you should download AirBuccaneers and appreciate the excellent game that it actually is.